Your GFR went from 4 to 47. It's a full recovery. Congratulations.
How a 57-year-old man with end-stage renal failure, diabetes, and congestive heart failure avoided dialysis and skyrocketed his kidney function from a GFR of 4 to 47 in just 20 days by eating this food and avoiding this medication. Catherine here, I'm a doctor of natural medicine, and today I want to share with you one of the most jaw-dropping, record-breaking case studies I have ever seen in my career. This isn't just about avoiding dialysis. This man didn't just stabilize his kidney function, he improved it by more than 10 times in 20 days. Let me repeat that. His GFR went from 4 to 47.
Wow, that's amazing.
Just to put this into perspective, on May 14, 2020, his GFR was 14, already dangerously low. Within a week, his GFR dropped to 4 and he was rushed to the hospital. At this point, 99.9% of doctors would have started him on immediate dialysis. But instead, his medical team took a radical approach, and in less than 20 days, his GFR shot up to 47. Now, for those of you who don't have all the CKD stages and numbers memorized, let me break down this for you. When this man was admitted to the hospital, his kidney function was so bad that after his first dialysis session, even his dialysis machine needed dialysis. Yeah, that's how bad it was. But with this simple intervention, his kidney function went back to here. And when your kidney function is back here, you don't even have symptoms anymore. You can live a perfectly normal life. So, from a GFR almost too low for dialysis to a normal life. Now, I know this sounds impossible. In 20 days, it sounds like medical fiction. But I assure you, this case report was published in a highly respected peer-reviewed medical journal. It's also very recent. It was published on November 8, 2024. And let me tell you right now, this study is going to shake the medical world. In fact, this patient was taking a medication in particular that should have never been prescribed to him. We will see which one in the last part of the video. Don't miss that part because this is a medication that far too many CKD patients are still taking today. So stick with me until the end of the video. Now, I must also mention that this patient was hospitalized due to severe metabolic acidosis, a complication of CKD, which means that his kidneys were functioning so poorly that his body was literally overwhelmed by acid, not to mention his heart. This patient's conditions were so bad that any other doctor would have probably just referred him to a priest. Probably, seriously, when we start to talk about multiple organ failures, things can get very nasty, very fast. However, this man was very lucky to have found some incredibly competent and brave doctors, because what these doctors did to achieve this miracle result was absolutely shocking. Some parts of this treatment are going to leave you speechless.
What?
Because, let's be real, most doctors would never have the guts to try this. I mean, these doctors had nerves of steel. Let's see what they did. Now guys, I believe you may be interested in hearing what this man was eating to avoid, passing away before his 58th birthday. I know what you are thinking. Wow, this diet must be something incredible. Maybe a secret government experiment? Maybe a diet only known to monks in the Himalayas? Because yeah, the diet was what made all the difference here. So let's play a little game. Let's take a wild guess at what this guy, who, by the way, had stage 5 CKD, metabolic acidosis, obesity, gout, and congestive heart failure, was eating to avoid literally dropping dead before his 58th birthday. And diabetes as well. So what do we think? Maybe a raw meat diet? Oh yeah, just what his kidneys needed. Some fresh, bacteria-ridden, unseasoned liver. No. So maybe it was a strict keto diet? Yes, fat bombs and ribeye steak 3 times a day. Because nothing screams diabetes management like eating 200 grams of saturated fat while whispering ketosis will heal me into a jar of coconut oil. No, it wasn't a keto diet. Maybe they went full carnivore. You know, the adult version of a toddler who refuses to eat anything green.
You can eat as much animal protein as you want, and you're never going to harm your kidney function.
I mean, that's a great diet for diabetes, right? No? Alright. Let's stop the suspense. What diet actually saved this man's life? Let's just read the title of the study real quick. Aggressive intravenous hydration and a defined plant-based diet. Wait, plant-based? No, not the vegetables. Quick, some check on the keto influencers. I think they all just collapsed at the same time. Yeah, I know. Who could have seen this coming? Not me, guys. I was so sure they were gonna say we force-fed him bacon grease and his kidneys started doing backflips. But nope. Turns out, medical science has once again decided to crush the hopes and dreams of carnivore bros everywhere. Because here's the thing. You are never going to find a study where a stage 5 CKD patient improves with a keto diet. Not gonna happen. Not today, not tomorrow, not in a parallel universe where pigs fly and butter cures diabetes. Now, on social media, oh, absolutely. Every single day, some shirtless dude with zero medical credentials will be standing in front of a camera like,
they tell me my choices are hemodialysis or peritoneal dialysis, and I would probably eat 3 to 4 steaks a week.
yeah bro, I was in kidney failure, but then I ate nothing but ribeye for 6 months and now I can deadlift a truck. But in actual medical literature, never. So yeah, folks, let this be your friendly reminder that if you have stage 4 or 5 CKD and your brilliant idea is to go keto, carnivore, or some other influencer approved nonsense, you'd better have a dialysis chair pre-booked, just in case. Alright? Now guys, let's go back to the real world for a moment and let's see what this man was eating exactly. And we are going to have a whole study about that. Yeah, these scientists were so thorough in designing a diet for a patient with so many health issues, they decided to refer to a previous study made in 2018. This is what they call a defined plant-based diet, and it's not what you think. This is a very special diet. Now, if we take a look at what was encouraged in this diet, first of all, there is fruit. Every raw fruit you can think of was extremely encouraged in this diet. In fact, as we can read here, the CKD stage 5 patient with diabetes was encouraged to increase his fruit consumption by almost 10 times. So if this man was eating 1 apple a day before the intervention, he is now eating about 10 different fruits a day. Which ones? Whichever he likes, as long as it's raw. Anyway, there are also certain foods here that are more encouraged than others. First of all, avocados. I'm not surprised they mention avocados separately from other fruits. First of all, because of their unique nutritional profile, this is one of the few fruits with more fats than carbs, making it ideal for glycemic control. When it comes to kidney health, it's worth mentioning that avocados are super rich in antioxidant and anti-inflammatory compounds, carotenoids, vitamin C, vitamin E, phenolic compounds. You will get tons of this when you eat an avocado. Amazing for protecting the kidneys. Now, something else they singled out in this study are tomatoes, which is peculiar because I just made a video to show you guys how you should always eat tomatoes and avocados together. Why, you may ask? Well, the reason is lycopene. Lycopene is an amazing antioxidant. It doesn't just protect kidney cells from free radicals, it also lowers blood pressure while improving heart health. But it's not well absorbed by the body. There is the need for a source of fats for it to work, and that's where avocados come in handy. Yes, add some tomato to your avocado toast to make it super healthy. Now, it's also worth noting that both these foods are rich in potassium, so keep an eye on your serum potassium levels if you want to add them to your diet. But for most CKD patients, they should be fine. I mean, it's 2025, and any healthcare provider should know by now that it's when you stop eating fruits and vegetables that you start losing GFR points. Anyway, this guy was not surviving on avocado toasts alone. No, even if his diet is a very peculiar one, it is a pretty varied diet. In fact, as I was saying, basically all raw fruit and vegetables are encouraged. If your goal is improving your kidney health, glucose levels, heart health, cholesterol levels, body weight, and so on. So yeah, remember this next time you are grocery shopping and don't know what to buy. If it comes from this kind of plant, it's healthy. If it comes from this kind of plant, it's not healthy. Okay, of course, there is more nuance to the renal diet than if it's coming from a factory is bad. But it's also true that the easier the diet, the more people are going to follow it. So yeah, keep in mind that the vast majority of raw fruit and veggies are super healthy. Now, some vegetables that are healthier than others and that this 57-year-old man was specifically instructed to eat in order to avoid dialysis are dark green vegetables, or dark leafy greens, as most people call them. What's so special about these veggies, you ask? Well, first of all, they are the most alkalizing foods on the planet. I'm talking about stuff such as kale, spinach, collard greens, cabbage, beet greens, lettuce, and so on. If you have kidney disease, you want a ton of this in your diet. Heck, even if you don't really. But if you have kidney disease, when you eat these vegetables, your body acidity is going to improve because there is no other food as alkalizing as spinach and kale. And if you remember, this particular patient was being started on dialysis mostly due to metabolic acidosis, a complication of CKD in which there is too much acid in the body for the kidneys to remove. So, if we are here to point out a food that's actually saving this man from dialysis, well, kale and spinach will be on top of the list. Moving on, something else this patient was explicitly recommended are deep yellow vegetables. Okay, why yellow and why deep, you may ask? Now, when we talk about deep yellow vegetables, we think about stuff such as yellow pepper, summer squash, corn, pumpkins, and even carrots. So what makes this vegetable special is beta-carotene and other carotenoids. And yeah, avoiding dialysis is all about these super powerful antioxidants with anti-inflammatory properties. We need to reduce the inflammation and the oxidative stress on your kidneys, guys. There is no improving if those nasty free radicals are there, destroying your poor nephrons day in and day out. So, what's excluded from his diet, you ask? Well, guys, I'm glad you asked because this is not your usual garden variety plant-based diet. No, there is a particular rule this man is following that will make you shiver, literally. Let's see why. Yes, the usual criminal lineup. Animal foods, gone. Sodas, banned. Alcohol, forbidden. Junk food, straight to jail. Basically, everything your uncle calls the 4 main food groups. But hey, nothing new here. So what's so special about this diet? Well, let's see. Free oils are also banned. Yep, no extra oil. No drizzling olive oil on everything like it's a magic potion. And this is, well, nothing new as well. I mean, I've been prescribing to remove added oils to all my patients that need to lose weight. And it works, of course, which is funny if you think about it. I mean, if you listen to influencers, all you have to eat to lose weight is protein and fat, aka steak and butter. And yet, this man with diabetes was saved from dialysis when he stopped eating oil and butter. Because you see, what these knobnuts don't know is that science is proving them wrong at every turn. Like every single time they open their mouths, bam! Another study comes out making them look like absolute clowns. It's like watching someone double down on a flat earth theory even after you've taken them on a plane.
With the cute little fork they give you, or you can eat them like a true carnivore.
Anyway, as I was saying, there is something really peculiar about the diet that saved this 57-year-old man from dialysis. What's peculiar about this diet is that all cooked foods were also banned. So yeah, here's the real kicker about this diet. All cooked foods banned. Yeah, you heard that right. They went full raw plant-based, not just eat more salads, not just finish your veggies. Nope, full and cooked straight from the garden raw. Which, look, I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty hardcore. I mean, personally, I enjoy warm food. Call me crazy, but sometimes I like my vegetables to be slightly warmer than the heart of a keto influencer. So, is avoiding cooked meals what saved this man from dialysis? Well, let's be fair. Are there a ton of studies saying that lightly cooking your veggies is bad for you? Not really, except of course for the one we were examining today. And guys, it worked. I mean, it's on a peer-reviewed journal, so I can't exactly say a raw plant-based diet is wrong. I'll just say that trying to convince people to follow this diet sounds about as easy as convincing a toddler that bedtime is fun. Now guys, in short, if you're going to try a raw plant-based diet, it will most likely help your kidney function stabilize or even improve. Just be prepared for your family to stage an intervention when they catch you eating raw broccoli and artichoke for breakfast. Hey, you've been warned. Alright folks, buckle up. This last part of the video is super important. We're about to find out exactly which medication was launching this guy straight into a dialysis chair. Are you ready to see what it is? Now, there is one medication in this list that is so bad for the kidneys that a nephrologist once literally assaulted a cardiologist for prescribing it. No, I'm not joking. This actually made the news. So let's all take a moment to appreciate the fact that somewhere out there, a nephrologist got so furious over one of the medications in this list, he literally assaulted another doctor. And I think he might have lost his job over it. But here's the thing. This is a very common medication. A lot of CKD patients are on this exact medication without realizing it's putting their kidneys in serious danger. But which one of these medications are we talking about? Here's the list of medications this man was taking. One of them was actively destroying his kidneys. Can you guess which one? Don't worry, I'll break them down for you. And if you already know the answer, write it down in the comments. And just a tip, remember the title of the case report. Otherwise, you might struggle to pick the right one. I mean, if you are not a nephrologist, of course, I can already picture the nephrologists watching this absolutely losing their minds, screaming at their screens. It's the for f***'s sale. Here are the medications. First, allopurinol. This is taken for gout, high dose. Carvedilol, beta blocker for blood pressure, low dose. Vitamin D2. You all know what this is. Tradjenta for diabetes, increased insulin release, low dose. Entresto, high dose of sacubitril. Valsartan, a combination of an neprilysin inhibitor and an ARB. Super strong blood pressure medication. Torsemide, a strong diuretic, high dose. Atorvastatin for cholesterol, high dose. Humalog, this is a fast-acting insulin. Lantus, some more insulin, long-acting. Chlorcon M20, prescription potassium supplement. So can you tell which one of these was sending this patient into dialysis? Now, if you said Entresto, well, close, but no cigar. I mean, this is not a medication a CKD stage 5 patient should be taking, but it's not what was destroying this patient's kidneys. But it was also discontinued, by the way. And the winner of this worst medication for a stage 5 CKD patient award is, drumroll please, Torsemide. Yep, high-dose loop diuretic. So yeah, if your cardiologist ever prescribes you Torsemide or another high-dose loop diuretic like Lasix, maybe don't tell your nephrologist. They might literally assault your cardiologist, and good luck finding another nephrologist. And guys, want more kidney-saving tips like this one? Check out my video up here.
7 days, 7 simple morning habits, 1 powerful goal, reversing the progression of kidney disease. When it comes to CKD, patients at every stage, including stage 5, have successfully stopped and even reversed the decline of their GFR. We have seen this happen in medical literature. But here's the really exciting part. There are people watching this very video right now. Yes, some of you guys who can confirm that these kinds of improvements aren't just possible, they're happening. Think about that, a process once considered completely inevitable. CKD progression is now being challenged by real results, all thanks to key changes in lifestyle and habits. So, what's the secret, you ask? There are specific habits that protect the precious filters of your body, your kidneys, at any stage of CKD. And the best part, you can start seeing a difference in just 7 days. Starting with day 1, try a cordyceps tea. Cordyceps! Who would have thought that a parasitic mushroom would end up being your kidney's best friend? So cordyceps is something that I have recommended as a supplement to so many patients. Yes, I really believe in these little parasitic fungi. Why, you ask? Well, the reason is not just my experience with patients. It's also the Cochrane Library, which is the Bible, but for us science nerds. According to it, cordyceps preparations significantly decreases serum creatinine. And cordyceps is also incredibly powerful when it comes to stopping proteinuria as well. And yeah, if they say cordyceps decreases serum creatinine and tackles proteinuria, you better believe I'm listening. Now, if you're already taking cordyceps supplements, that's great! But have you tried making a tea out of the fruiting bodies? Not only does it work wonders for your kidneys, but it's also surprisingly tasty. I mean, who knew parasites could be delicious? It's like Mother Nature's way of saying sorry for all the calamities and bad stuff. Here's a mushroom. So, this is a super easy recipe that's also tasty, and you can enjoy it every morning if you want to. Here's how to make it. Put 5 or 6 fruiting bodies in 250 milliliters of already boiling water. Keep the water boiling on high for 1 minute. Now, after 1 minute of the hard boil, put the flame at the lowest setting. Cover the vessel with a lid and let it simmer for another 15 minutes. And yeah, you really want to use your egg time for this recipe because studies have concluded that it is best to brew the dried mushrooms for exactly 15 minutes. Why 15 minutes, you ask? Because during tests, longer steep times degraded the compounds and shorter times did not extract nearly enough. Not to mention that steeping this tea for too long can make it a bit bitter. So, what if it tastes funky? Well, if it's too strong for your palate, try adding a little stevia. Or don't. Maybe you like your tea bitter like a true warrior. Let me know in the comment section which team you're on. Hashtag Team Stevia or hashtag Just Drink It. And guys, don't forget to like this video and to share it with a friend so they can also try this recipe. By the way, when you make this recipe, remember, never throw away the fruiting bodies. They are rich in unique and powerful compounds such as ergosterol, a provitamin form of vitamin D, and cordymin, which is known for its antioxidant, anti-inflammatory properties. Okay, we have just started a good habit that will change our health for the better. But how are we going to be able to tell if it really works? Well, with the next morning habit, day 2, update your health journal. The morning is the perfect time of the day to update your health journal because yes, keeping a health journal is one of the best things you can do if your goal is to improve your kidney health. Why a health journal, you ask? Well, imagine Sherlock Holmes tracking every clue in a case. That's what your journal does for your health. Did your blood pressure spike after eating too much sodium? Did your glucose improve after adding ACV? Your journal will know before you do. Same for your body weight and all the other info you need to keep track of. Yeah, you see where I'm getting at? Not journaling your health is like trying to bake a cake without measuring anything. Sure, you might get lucky, but what if it's a disaster? Not to mention that accountability is key. There is a saying that goes like, what gets measured gets done, meaning if you write it down, you're more likely to stick to it. And well, the result we are aiming at here is to start or keep improving your kidney function, alright? Reversing kidney disease. This is our goal. So take those measures and make sure it gets done. Alright, up next, day 3. Let's talk about a good habit that will absolutely help you get stuff done. Coffee, or as I like to call it, liquid motivation in a mug. Now, I get it. Coffee isn't everyone's cup of tea. Pun intended. Maybe you don't like it. Maybe you think it's not healthy. Or maybe you had a traumatic experience with a
particularly bitter espresso in your youth.
Whatever the case, no judgment here. But if you're open to it, black unsweetened coffee in the morning can actually be a solid addition to your routine. Why? Because moderate coffee consumption is linked to several benefits, including lower heart disease risk. Plus, for those of you with diabetes, coffee can help process sugar better. But remember, moderation is key. 1 cup gives you energy. 5 cups turn you into a jittery squirrel on a sugar high. Now guys, coffee itself may have some benefits, but the best part about it is that extra motivation it gives you in the morning, especially if you can use that extra energy too. Day 4, start an exercising regime. Yes, my friends, it's time to sweat a little. And by sweat, I don't mean frantically chasing the dog who just bolted out the front door. I mean actual intentional exercise, because as we all know, exercise is basically the master of all trades of health fixes, good for everything and everyone. And guys, here's a fun fact about exercising. You can decide which type of training to do based on the health markers that concerns you the most. Yes, it's true. Look, I have the privilege of counseling from some of you guys following me here on YouTube. And you really are some of the most wonderful people I've ever met. You are passionate about your health, and I can tell you this because I have received this question from you more than one time. Doc, I want to start exercising. What kind of exercise should I do? Well, the short answer is anything you enjoy. Zumba, go for it. Pilates, sure. Yoga, stretch your heart out. Whatever floats your boat, as long as you enjoy it and can stick with it. Just don't push yourself too much. Now, here's a fun fact about exercising. Different types of exercise target specific health markers. It's like ordering a la carte for your health goals. Got diabetes? Hit the weights. Resistance training? Lifting weights, pushing machines, or just flexing in the mirror? Yeah, science says it's the ultimate glucose burning hack. How come, you ask? The more your muscle mass, the more your body is going to be able to utilize glucose. So want to fight diabetes? Go lift some barbells at the gym. Now let's say that your goal is beating hypertension or high cholesterol. What should you do? Time to channel your inner marathon runner or speed walker. No judgment. Aerobic exercises like jogging or brisk walking are the gold standard for lowering both blood pressure and cholesterol level. So that's my answer when someone asks me what type of exercise they should do. Weightlifting for diabetes, aerobic for hypertension. Now guys, of course, you don't have to do exactly this. Any kind of exercising at all is a million times better than nothing. Aerobics, strength training in the gym, a class, or even just walking at a brisk pace. Heck, you could even start pole dancing if you think you have the attributes. Whatever you like. Keep in mind that the key here is doing it regularly, alright? That's why exercise should be considered a morning habit. Okay, up next, day 5. Make sure you are not skipping breakfast. Eat a low protein but complete meal instead. Yes, breakfast, the meal that's been hyped, dissected, debated, and somehow still ends up being a cup of coffee and a prayer for a lot of people. Now guys, do you remember the old saying, breakfast is the most important meal of the day? Well, that's actually just an advertising slogan created by Kellogg's in 1917 to help sell their new cereal. And guess what? It worked! In the US at least. Fun fact, here in Italy, no one has ever heard about that saying. So, why am I saying that breakfast should not be skipped then? Because science. Two studies from 2024, one from France and one from Japan, say skipping breakfast might actually make kidney disease progress faster. You see, here is the one from France, and this focused more on the quality of the meal, and another one from Japan that, as you can see, is actually linking skipping breakfast to higher risk of CKD progression. I won't go in depth about these studies because all that matters for us is that you make sure you are getting all the nutrients and hydration you need, starting from breakfast. And I know the intermittent fasting crowd is fuming right now, especially if you're watching this video in the morning still cranky because your fasting window hasn't closed yet. But please relax. I've talked about the benefits of intermittent fasting too, especially for diabetes. And yes, I've done it myself in the past. So I'm not necessarily against it, but fasting is not a lifestyle. It's a tool. It's like duct tape, useful in the right situation, but a terrible choice to hold your life together. So is breakfast the holy grail Kellogg's made it out to be? Not really, but also, should you just randomly skip meals because it was cool in 2021? Absolutely not. Skipping breakfast isn't the only way to lose weight. A balanced, low-protein, plant-based diet works just as well, and without making your kidneys cry for help. Fasting is just a short-term tool. When people turn fasting into a bad habit, their kidneys are the ones left cleaning up the mess, literally. In short, science says skipping breakfast might hurt your kidneys, so unless you hate your kidneys, get into the habit of eating something for breakfast. Up next, our 6th day now. Another great morning habit we can start is basics. Take vitamin D in the morning. Oh, the kidney vitamin. Are you taking it yet? Or are you one of those people thinking, nah, I get enough sun? Spoiler alert, unless you're sunbathing daily like a lizard in July, you're probably not. So, supplement it in the morning. Why take it in the morning, you ask? Vitamin D doesn't just manage bone health and calcium levels. It literally whispers to your body, hey, the sun is up, act like it. It's the body's way of saying, rise and shine, without needing a triple espresso. Taking it at night though? Bad idea. Your body needs it in the morning, so set that circadian rhythm straight like a natural alarm clock for your insides. Now, what about vitamin D and the kidneys? Too many CKD sufferers are still deficient in this vitamin today. And this deficiency is actually linked to a faster decline of kidney function. And here's a little fun fact about vitamin D and your skin. Did you know that people with darker skin tones are at higher risk for deficiency? This is due to lower production of the vitamin from sunlight exposure. But guys, don't think you're off the hook if you're pale as a ghost. I've seen fair-skinned folks with vitamin D levels so low I had to double-check to make sure their lab results weren't a typo. Moral of the story, vitamin D deficiency doesn't discriminate. It's an equal opportunity offender. This is why, when it comes to vitamin D, you don't just want to make it a morning habit, you also want to be tested for these vitamins levels. Enter the 25-hydroxyvitamin D test. No, it's not a cool DJ name. It's the test you need to see where you stand. Get it done. Trust me, better safe than sorry with vitamin D. And since we are talking about vitamins, there is another vitamin that you should also be taking in the morning. Actually, a group of vitamins. Day 7, take a big group vitamin supplement. These bad boys, especially B12, are the morning champions of energy and anemia fighting power. Ever notice how after taking a multivitamin you feel like you could run a marathon or at least unload the dishwasher without needing a nap? That's B12 doing its thing. Here is a fun tip. Some people use B12 as a coffee substitute. Yep, it's like espresso in a pill form, minus the caffeine jitters. For those of you with diabetes, this is particularly great because B12 helps convert food into energy. It's like a win-win-win. But of course, for people with kidney disease, the main benefit of B group vitamins is their ability to fight anemia. This is a serious and very common complication of kidney disease that unfortunately goes mostly untreated. Yes, some doctors don't take this issue seriously enough, and this puts kidney disease patients in great danger. Up to 70% of CKD patients have anemia according to statistics. And guys, if you want to learn more about how to fight anemia and the other complications of CKD, my video up here is for you. And this is all for today. Thank you for watching. God bless you all. Stay safe. Ciao!